Let's say we want to have a list that looks like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could fill the list all together as shown below, or we can even add each element one at a time like this. However, what if you wanted to create a list that stored 100 numbers? It would be very tedious to write all those out the way we just did. This is where append and loops work very well together. Let's use a loop to fill in the numbers 1 through 5 into a list called countdown. First, create an empty list. Countdown equals square brackets. We cannot use a for loop for this because there are no elements in our current list to traverse through. Instead, we can use a while loop. Alright, so here we have a equals 1, while a is less than or equal to 5, countdown.append a, and then we increment a by 1. This variable represents how many elements will be added to the list in total. In this case, a also represents the values we want to store in the list, so that is what we append. This increases the value of a to add the next element to the list until the loop eventually ends. Right now, it may appear that this code segment is more difficult than this one, and it's true, it is. But what if we want to store 100 numbers? Adding 100 numbers one at a time in this segment now becomes tedious. However, we can now see the benefits of our loop, in which only one number would need to be changed. This one right here just becomes 100 instead of 5. The above loop will store the values from 1 to 100 in the list countdown. Let's try another example. Can you figure out what is in each element in list X? Alright, so the first time through the loop, I is 0. So while 0 is less than 10, that is true, so we enter the loop. X.append 9 minus 0 is 9. So in the first slot here at an index of 0, we have 9. Then we increment I by 1. I is now 1. 1 is less than 10, so we enter the loop. X.append 9 minus 1 is 8. So now we append 8 to the list, and so on until we get to 0. Let's go back to the shopping cart. Can we find a way to use a loop to continuously add items into our cart list? Start with an empty list again. For now, let's say we will add 10 items to the list. We can set up our while loop like this. I equals 0, while I is less than 10, and then we have the code to add the items, and then we're going to increment I by 1. Now, what will the code inside the loop need to look like? So what is going to go here? The list is empty, so in order to add items, you will need append. So we have cart.append. But what do you put in the parentheses? We can't put milk there. Try it by copying this code into your IDE. Alright, IDE, run. Look, it's added milk 10 times. The word milk printed out 10 times in the list. That is not right. What could you put inside the parentheses so that the user can add an item into the list that is different each time? Yes, user input can be used here. Copy this into your IDE and try it out.